evening, everyone. My name is John. This is Pampered by John. This is my wife, Stephanie.
Hey everyone! Welcome to another exciting episode of In the Kitchen with Pampered by John. Tonight we are making my absolute favorite meal, hamburgers and sliders. So I'm going to show you a little bit of a secret recipe, so stay tuned.
All right. First, we got our Pampered Chef prep bowl. It's the large one.
The large stainless steel mixing bowl.
Got 3 pounds of hamburger meat already in it with the garlic. Now I want to mix up my breadcrumbs.
Those are not breadcrumbs.
I'm mixing my breadcrumbs, making my breadcrumbs.
If you can turn crackers into breadcrumbs, then I need 2 of these machines.
I use saltine in a substitute of regular breadcrumbs.
And why are we mixing them in the manual food processor?
Because we got to chop them up fine.
And why do we put crackers in our hamburgers?
For a binding agent to bind them together.
And why do we like crackers over breadcrumbs?
Because it gives it a little bit more flavor.
Okay, and breadcrumbs will dry out your hamburger meat.
I want to add some Smokey apple Pampered Chef seasoning.
Applewood, but okay.
Applewood.
Uh-oh, he's going off grid. Oh yeah, that looks like enough.
Gonna add some salt.
Because saltines don't have salt.
Some pepper.
He's got some voodoo going on here, people.
Put our lid back on our manual food chopper. Processor.
And voila, we have breadcrumbs. Okay, I was getting a rhythm going.
And then there we go.
Cracker pieces.
Now we dump this in our hamburger meat with all our seasonings.
We also have some minced garlic. Well, great things in the kitchen, John.
I will.
We have some minced garlic already on there, and he is about to dice up an onion really fine. What knife would you like for dicing, baby?
Then we have the chef knife.
You want the big chef's knife?
Yeah, I like that one.
You do know that the Santoku knife, or Sudoku, or however you want to pronounce it, is actually better for chopping onions than the chef's knife.
All right, then give me the better knife.
These knives are part of our forged knives.
And what makes these so good is they're German steel. It is forged one piece tang all the way down. They're nice and sturdy, and they're not too heavy, but they're heavy enough that you can allow the knife to do its job. You don't have to force it.
If you want to follow me over to the bowl, we're going to add the eggs while he chops the onion. Now the eggs will mix with the crackers, which will cause the hamburgers to stay together. If you just put the crackers in, then your hamburgers will fall apart. If you just put the eggs in, your hamburgers will fall apart. Is that chemistry stuff, scientific stuff? I don't remember. Oh. You got a new tool there in your hand, hon. What you got?
I have a new tool that I'm not supposed to be showing yet, but
ooh,
I'm going to show you. It is our brand new onion peeler.
And when can they see this beautiful thing in our catalogs?
September 1st. You just run it down, just like that, like you would the orange peelers. citrus peelers.
You do know that the other part of that is to get up under the skin so you don't have to use your fingernails?
Yes.
Want to show that? Look how easy. Now you don't have onion up underneath your fingernails. Also, if you don't want to deal with the tears that come with chopping your onions by hand with a manual knife, we have a food chopper that you can use, or you could put your onion in the manual food processor as well and dice it that way. John just happens to like to use his knives.
And this is our wooden cutting board. If you buy this set of knives or have these set of knives, it is recommended that you use the wooden cutting board on with these knives, because if you have the thin foldable plastic ones, these knives are sharp enough to cut through this plastic. So it's either the wooden one for these forged knives or the plastic ones for these forged knives. Alright, and there we have it. Our onion is diced up. They're ready to go into our hamburger meat. The main thing you got to remember about these forged knives and this wooden cutting board is as soon as you're done using them, you have to wash them and dry them and put them away. Especially with the wooden cutting board, because it is wood, it will dry out eventually, or you don't want to soak it, or because it will damage the wood.
Each one of our wood pieces, they're made out of Arcadian wood, and they are, every single one of them would be different. I could have 4 or 5 of these cutting boards, and each one would be different because they don't paint or stain the wood. They just use the natural wood coloring. So this design that you get in your cutting board actually makes it unique. And that's one of the things that I really like about it. The other thing I like about this cutting board is you cut on this side and you can flip it over and serve on the other side.
All right, now we're ready to mix. Almost ready to mix.
Oh, you forgot the secret ingredient. The secret ingredient. Everybody knows that you need a little Worcestershire sauce in your hamburger meat to help keep it moist. Another really cool trick that helps make your hamburgers cook more evenly is once we make the hamburgers, John is going to put a thumbprint in the middle of the hamburgers, which creates a little divot. And what that does is it allows the center to cook evenly with the outside of the hamburger meat. So you don't get a raw center with a burnt outside. So what John is doing right now is testing it to make sure that it's going to stick together. If it did not form like that and stick together, then he would want to add more egg or more of the crackers, depending on which one he felt by the texture of the meat. All right, so we are going to use our large sheet pan to put our hamburgers and sliders on, we're just gonna put some wax paper over it. And then John is gonna start assembling the sliders first with our hamburger slider press. Now, why are you starting with the sliders first, John?
Because you only want 6 of them.
That is a horrible answer, John.
Because it doesn't matter which one really that you need to, you can start with. When you're doing the large ones, you need to put a little bit like a thin coat of oil on it where they pop out easier.
So then you would want to start with the sliders so you don't have oil on them because you don't need the
Right,
oil.
correct. Because with this, the slider part of it pops off. So you can pop it in. Make your slider in the hamburger press. Pop it out, and then there you go. You got your perfect slider.
Well, it was until you flattened out the little dent that the press made in it that we just talked about, but that's okay. You'll add that dent back later. So how do you know how much to put in there so you don't have skinny sliders and fat sliders? Because that one looks like it's like smooshing out all around the...
It is just a guessing game. 'Cause I have no way of
So what you
measuring
need
it.
is a large scoop that you can measure the same amount of hamburger meat each time that you were doing it.
That would help drastically.
Oh, looks like it's time for us to place another order.
And you needed an excuse to order more Pampered Chef stuff?
No, not really, but it's still fun to have one.
Now I am going to put a little bit of olive oil that we have in our 1 cup prep bowl with our basting brush, silicone basting brush, what is a lot better than the bristle brushes in my opinion.
Oh, I love it. And I don't like silicone brushes, but I love this one.
Basically, I'm just going to take a little bit of it and stick it on the sides.
Yeah, because you don't want a greasy burger. You just want it to be able to slide out easier.
And then I want to take some more hamburger meat. And I flipped the handle over. This side makes the sliders. This side makes the regular hamburgers.
So that's how you make up your hamburgers and your sliders. John's going to take you outside and show you how we grill them up. Now we're not going to use this product today on the grill, but I did want to show you, since we are showing off our grilling products. This is our grilling mats and tray set. Now, when you order this the first time, you have to order the whole set so that you get this rack. But after that, you can just order these mats. And they last about, depending on the temperatures that you cook on in your grill, you can usually get anywhere from 6 to 10 uses out of these before you have to replace them. You get 2 of these mats when you order the replacement part, and they're only $10. These are really good for cooking like salmon or vegetables, anything that you have a problem sticking to your grill grates. This will keep you from having that mess. Now, if you're not a griller and you're thinking, well, that product's not going to do me any good. Well, sorry to tell you, but Pampered Chef thinks of everything. You can order just the grilling mats themselves without this piece, and you can put the 2 of these in the bottom of your oven to catch drips that come out of anything that you cook to make cleaning your oven a whole lot easier. So these can go on your grill or in the oven. And John is now going to show you his grilling kit.
This is the Pampered Chef grilling kit. You have your spatula, and it's just like the forged knives. Bottle opener, nice spatula. These are your grilling tongs, and they're slotted where they will go around the slots on your grate in your grill. You got a silicone basting brush for barbecue sauce or whatever other types of sauce that you want to baste your meat with. And then you have a wooden block or a wooden scraper to clean your grill with. And it comes in this
apron. Is that an apron?
No, it's not an apron. It is just the utensil pouch that you can store your grilling utensils in. Comes in with a clip.
Ooh, storage is easy, and
And a handle.
transporting would be, so those would be good if you like to go grill camping and grill.
Camping or at the beach.
That would be really good.
So,
All right, so are you ready to take them outside and show them your grill master skills?
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
Okay.
Wooden scraper to scrape the grates. So, where you can have clean grates to cook on. Now, the way I do my charcoal is I start it and it will cook down to nice hot coals where you don't have no open flames. And I do majority of my cooking on indirect heat. So we put the hamburgers on. Now, if I can't get everything on at one time, then I just cook the first batch and then I put the second batch on. Once this batch is done, and I cook it. So that is how I do my grilling. Because I don't, I have a tendency of getting distracted when it's on the open flame. and then you have burnt food. I prefer, I have both a gas grill and a charcoal grill. I prefer the charcoal grill over the gas grill because the charcoal gives it more flavor than what the gas does. And this is my Father's Day present this year, and I'm not only able to grill on it, but I can also smoke on this one too. So, and I can adjust the heat up and down as desired. So, shut the lid, and now I will to hold the heat in, is why I shut the lid. Now I'll wait about 7 minutes and check them and flip them. Alright, now that it's been several minutes of cooking on one side, come in and you flip. Now since they've cooked some, I can move them up. Like this. And I will add that other hamburger. Right there. And the reason I started with the hamburgers first over the sliders is because the sliders are smaller, so they're going to take less time to cook than what the hamburgers do. And now we just wait. Alright, our first 6 hamburgers are done. As you can see, they're nice and brown, and oh my god, do they smell wonderful. So we're going to remove these 6 hamburgers. We're going to flip this one over. Stick it up there. Let it cook. And then we are going to put our sliders on and let them cook. And since we are eating the sliders this evening with the French fries, I will put the cheese and that on the sliders. So now we will let them cook. What I did there by turning this handle is I raised my charcoal up a little bit because it is cooking down a lot more. So that will just keep it at the temperature that I was cooking the hamburgers at. Alright, now what we're going to do is check on our sliders. And our large hamburger back here is done. So we put it on the plate. And then our sliders are looking good. So we're just going to flip them. And let them cook on that side for a little bit. And then our hamburgers will be done. And now that our sliders are done, they will be coming off the grill. And there you have it. Dinner is done.
Alrighty, so what goes best with hamburgers but homemade french fries? So we have peeled our french fries with our wonderful veggie peeler, and now we are going to chop them up in our potato slicer. Now this slicer we actually got off of Amazon, so don't turn us into the Pampered Chef police, but Pampered Chef doesn't have one. So, and we love homemade french fries. So, you know, if anybody from home office is watching this video, we sure could use a potato slicer. So this is part of our coated knives collection. This is the utility knife. It is very versatile and great for using for just about anything. And as you saw in the video, John was cutting out a bad part of the potato using it. Now you'll notice that we put all of the french fries in water. And the reason that we put them in water is so that the starches that are in the potatoes do not turn brown and make our potatoes brown before we are done cooking them. The most important thing to remember though, when you put the potatoes in water, is you want to pull them out of the water with your hands and let them drain. Do not pour this into a colander, because all the starches that come out of those potatoes settles in the bottom of the bowl. And by removing the potatoes out of the water, you are leaving that starch behind. And you don't want that starch, because you want your french fries to be nice and crispy when you put them, when you get them out of, not when you put them in, when you get them out of your deep fat fryer. Another trick that you can use if you don't have a deep fat fryer and you are frying your french fries in a frying pan in vegetable oil, salt your vegetable oil a little bit, because the potatoes suck up the salt while they're cooking, and you can use less salt and have twice as much flavor. Alrighty, so we are going to transfer our french fries into our deep fat fryer. Now you want to shake off as much water as you can, because when you go to put them in the hot grease, if you have a lot of water, it is going to boil up and burn you. We do put the basket down in the grease because it keeps the french fries from sticking to the basket when we put them in. You want to keep your hand obviously away from the hot grease, but you don't want to drop them in from way up here. You're going to splash hot grease all over yourself. Now you could, if you have the deluxe air fryer, you could make french fries in it and not have the grease, but I am old-fashioned and I like my french fries directly out of the grease, especially when I'm pairing them with some good old-fashioned hamburgers. All right, as you can see, all of our French fries are nice and golden brown and they are floating in the top of the grease. So we are going to lift out our basket. We are going to shake off the excess grease because we don't want extra grease. We like crispy French fries. You set them on the edge for just a few minutes to let all that grease drip off. And then I always shake them another time before I flip them over onto my plate with my paper towel. Very fancy little design I have here to drain off even more grease while I cook the next batch. And now we're ready for the next batch. All right, so now we have our finished French fries here, and we are going to add a little bit of my favorite seasoning salt, which we get from Red Robin's. No, I'm not sponsored by Red Robin's, but if they want to, I would sure appreciate it because we use this stuff religiously. It goes on great on mashed potatoes, buttered potatoes, fried potatoes, French fries, vegetables, just about anything. You can throw it in your meat and cook with it. This seasoning salt is probably the best seasoning salt I've ever tasted. And now we have our French fries that are ready to eat. Very good. All right, and so our last part of this amazing hamburger meal is our grilled, well, baked beans, however you want to say it. So we are going to use our Pampered Chef can opener. The nice thing about this can opener is that it creates a smooth edge along the side of the can instead of cutting down in the can. So you don't have to worry about the lid dropping down into your vegetables or beans. To release it, you're going to turn it back one. It pops right off. It's got little teeth on it with a little button to remove the lid. And now you have a nice smooth edge that won't cut your finger, and you didn't have the lid falling into your can and food and getting bacteria in there. We are going to use one of our non-stick pots to create these beans in. I love this set, and my husband thought I was kidding about how non-stick they really are, but he used the frying pan the other day to make scrambled eggs, and he didn't put any oil or butter or anything in the frying pan, and he was amazed that the eggs did not stick. So now he is in love with this set, and he is glad that I bought it. So these are already cooked, so all we have to do is warm these up. So we're just gonna throw them on the stove and let them warm while we finish our French fries. All right, it's time to assemble these sliders. All right, everyone, that is how we make hamburgers, French fries with baked beans. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from some of the cooking tips. And I want you to hit like, subscribe, and comment below if you enjoyed this video. And also make sure you check out some of our other ones. In the description below, there will be details on all the products that we used, as well as a link to how you can order these Pampered Chef products for yourself. And the recipe that we used is also going to be included. Thank you and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
This is our